If you're an overthinker, I used to be as well. Maybe some of these things are going to relate with you. My name is Andre, and to some days I still overthink more than I should, but I have tools to control it now. And I shouldn't say control it, to prevent and to mitigate overthinking. And after several years on my own personal growth journey and working on my mind and my mindset, it's become clear to me why I am this way. And so I want to share with you some of my story. It's the pattern of getting into overthinking. It's the habit that we want to break. And it can come from having to be or being put in these situations in the past where you felt you had to activate your thinking brain to survive. A lot of this comes from survival. So let's say you maybe grew up in somewhat of a chaotic environment. I did. My house was a little chaotic. My oldest sister is autistic, and the chaos that came along with that, there was always something going on, always some kind of noise, always someone talking with someone or yelling at someone or arguing about something or telling someone what to do. And just that constant stimulation, right, is going to make you be alert and aware all the time and vigilant, right? Hypervigilance is another word that sometimes is used to kind of describe overthinking. So that's one example. If you grew up in this kind of environment, at least that was the case for me. And then another example, which it's really interesting, especially in American society and just modern society, which is being intelligent or being smart. If you got praised or pushed to be intelligent and to be smart, society rewards us for our intelligence and our smartness, and they don't necessarily reward us for our emotions or our emotionality or emotional intelligence. Let's put it that way. And in some ways, thinking is the opposite of feeling. And so as you detach more from feeling and you lean more into thinking, then you will overthink. You're going to strengthen the thinking muscle more than the feeling muscle. And in society, that's what you're rewarded for. And it gets rewarded because you show up as smart. So you get good grades, you do well in school, you do well in your job or career or your business. So those are a couple examples of where that can come from. Another example or another situation also, again, from my experience, is just being stressed. If you have a lot of tension, a lot of stress and tension in the mind, it's often that there's a lot of stress and tension in the body as well. And there's more and more research coming out showing that the two are connected deeper than we know. And it's crucial to start to look at not just the mind, but also the body. And I should say not look, but work at the level of the body in addition to the mind. And so one affects the other. And so if you think a lot, then you can be, tense and stressed and tight in your body. And if your body is tense and stressed, then it can also affect the mind. So this could, again, from my own experience, if you have some type of chronic infection, or let's say a hidden or an unknown infection. One example for me, parasites. If you have parasites, or at least for me, I had parasites, and the level of body anxiety it caused me that doctors wouldn't acknowledge, once they were gone, it was really interesting to feel the difference. And that's just one type. That's just from my story, my example. But something that is internally agitating the body and the system and the nervous system. And if that's happening within you and it's kind of hidden and unknown, then that can also cause some of these other symptoms that might show up as overthinking. Now, none of this is meant to diagnose or treat. Obviously, I'm not a medical doctor, so take all this educational with a grain of salt. This was my experience. And seeing these things line up and the connection there was really kind of fascinating. So the skills that I've developed over the years, parasites, I mean, that's a kind of a separate bucket, but with the parasites even, to regulate the overthinking, to calm the nerves and the thoughts and quiet the thoughts and calm the nervous system has been such a powerful tool set that I've learned. So if you're curious about learning more, reach out to me, check out my website, tophuman.co, and just connect with me. Ask me some questions. Let's connect. I'd love to hear your story. And that's all for this video. I'll see you in the next one.